how do you persuade me? How do you persuade me as a diaspora, for instance, that actually there are opportunities that are worth exploring, say in Sierra Leone?
Well, it's like programs like this where you come in, I talk to you, I give you the policies of governments. Whether, of course, they are in the right direction or not is also left with you to pass a judgment. But for those of us who are that believe that these policies are the right policies, we look up to you. If you think they need to be developed further, I think it's about time we look into them. But it's not easy to convince the diaspora, especially while the diaspora has been out of Africa for quite a while, and they've been out of touch with the realities. But the more difficult challenge is not so much with the African diaspora, it's the non-African, the sort of, that's the more difficult. Why you have a lot of negatives. Yes. You watch the media, it was sometimes, it's all the negatives that are being portrayed. Yes. So it's our responsibility to show that we counter these negatives and look at the key elements. And the key elements really is governance. Everybody thinks governance is very poor in Africa. The political system is weak. The economic system is weak, but there's a lot of corruption and sort of. So you try to make sure that you convince people that you are bringing in policies that will change, so that you change the perspectives. Okay. Yeah.
I have one question for you. Yeah. Living here in the West, we have different measures, different standards of measurement for what we term success. For some of us, those benchmarks are set too high, and we think we can't reach them because what we see here, we feel limited by our circumstances. Yeah. And yet, I look at you and people like you in Africa, and and we want to shine the spotlight on people like yourselves who have, against all odds, as they say, contrary to popular opinion, like you said about negative propaganda coming out of Africa, you appear to be successful at what you do. Now, for me, I guess the question is, what is your key driver? Because if I can understand how you think, it might help me regulate my thinking and persuade me to try to be like you. But I need role models, such as yourself. Otherwise, I am limited by my environment. I've been taught that I can't achieve more than a certain benchmark. This is the best I can be. And yet I look at you, and you have done well. You lived in Africa, you've worked in the IMF, you've worked in Commonwealth, and you appear to be successful. So I guess it's two questions. Would you say you were successful? I guess is the first question. Yeah. By your measurement of success. And then if you think you're fairly successful, then how do you help me become more like you? What do I need to, what disciplines do I need to put into my life? What do I need to do to achieve measures of success?
It's a big one. I think success is it's highly subjective. Okay. Personally, I would say I'm successful to the extent that I've been able to be called upon to serve the country. Not many people have that honor, to be called upon on 3 occasions to go back and serve a country. And once you're there, you should be able to measure your success by your achievements, by the legacies you leave. And I think my own area of measuring my success is institution building. Because I believe one of the things that are lacking in Africa are institutions. We don't have appropriate institutions, strong institutions that will provide the checks and balances in developing the economy as a whole. We tend to depend more on individual. So by the time I leave the central bank, I think I should be able to say I've been able to build a financial sector, a central bank that is able to develop a sound financial system, a sound banking sector that stands out there to support the people of the country. And then, of course, the highest one would be you make Sierra Leone into a truly preferred financial center in Africa. I think that would be very, very, very useful. If I achieve that, then that would be a great achievement.
You can retire when you achieve that.
Yes. But in terms of for you in the diaspora, I think it's to ensure that there is a sharp reduction in discretion, where if you want to go back, say you want to register a business, you have to know Samura Kamara before you're allowed to register a business. No, you have to depend on institutions. You have to be able to walk from one institution to the other without looking back.
Yes.
You just fill the form, stand there, everything works out with that high degree of automaticity that is required. And I think if that is done, and I would have seen a great success, really. In April, you go back.
We'll write the history books and make sure the diaspora remember you as helping us relocate. Yes. So are people like you special beings? Do you have to be born specially and be exposed to certain things? Is that why you are able to achieve what you've achieved, or can anybody do what you've done?
I don't think I'm a special person. We all went to the same school. I have a lot of colleagues with whom I went to the same school. I may not be the most qualified, and certainly I'm not the most qualified person in Sierra Leone. I'm not the most popular. I'm not the most brilliant. But it's about having commitment, belief in what you are doing. I think recently Kofi Annan said a Democrat is not born. I think he's right in many ways to say nobody is born with this. It depends on how you adapt to change, how you move, how much committed you are into ensuring that whatever you're doing leaves a positive change in your life as well as in the lives of those you're working for. Yeah. But I don't claim to be a special person, no. It's just that I'm committed to what I'm doing. I want to see that my vision, what I have, comes along like it works well, and we work together in partnership with the rest of society. So
commitment, strong vision, ability to work with others,
yes,
and focus.
And focus. You have to stay focused all the time. Because otherwise you have a lot of distractions, actually, to tell you the truth. And this is one problem that is wrong with Africa. We have more distractors than people you can rely on to move forward. But you should be able to live above these and to convince them as well that, yes, you cannot distract me. Even if you try to, you cannot. Come, let's work together. I'm ready to come to your level. If there are any, you have any doubts, I should be able to clear these doubts, and they'll move together as a team.
That's good. That's good. I thank you so much. I know we've kind of pinched you from your busy schedule, and it's a very short interview, but we'll do this again. Hopefully, I will have 3 hours of this.
Okay.
But it's been great having you with us. We're so grateful for your time. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Kamara, thank you.
It's a pleasure, Cynthia.
Okay, and
thank you.